Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9R Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. The Tao Te Ching, attributed to Lao Tzu, is one of the foundational texts of Taoism and a lasting influence on philosophy, spirituality, leadership, and the arts. Written in brief, poetic passages, it explores how to live in harmony with the Tao, the underlying way or pattern of reality. Rather than offering a rigid doctrine, the book points toward an intuitive understanding of balance, simplicity, and naturalness. Its style invites contemplation. Ideas are presented as paradoxes that challenge habitual thinking about power, success, knowledge, and control. Across centuries, readers have returned to it for guidance on inner calm, ethical conduct, and resilient leadership. The Tao Te Ching is often approached as a practical manual for aligning actions with circumstances instead of forcing outcomes. Whether read as philosophy, spiritual counsel, or a reflective companion, it encourages a quieter form of strength that emerges from humility, patience, and attentive presence. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, the Tao as the source and pattern of life. A central topic in the Tao Te Ching is the Tao itself, described not as a definable object, but as the underlying reality that precedes names, categories, and concepts. The book repeatedly warns that language can point toward the Tao, but cannot capture it, nudging readers away from overconfidence in intellectual certainty. This does not dismiss reason. It places reason within a larger, more mysterious order. By treating the Tao as both origin and organizing principle, the text encourages a worldview where life is understood as interconnected, cyclical, and self-balancing. This perspective reshapes how a reader interprets success and failure, progress and decline, and even personal identity. Instead of imposing a fixed meaning on events, the reader is invited to observe patterns, timing, and the natural consequences of actions. In practical terms, this topic promotes humility and attentiveness. Decisions improve when one studies the terrain, the mood, and the momentum of a situation rather than clinging to a predetermined plan. The Tao becomes a compass for living, emphasizing alignment over domination and suggesting that wisdom often begins by recognizing the limits of control. Secondly, Wu Wei, effortless action and non-forcing. Wu Wei is often summarized as non-action, yet the Tao Te Ching presents it more accurately as non-forcing or action that flows with circumstances. It is not passivity, laziness, or avoidance of responsibility. Rather, it is the discipline of acting without unnecessary friction, ego, or strain. The text contrasts aggressive striving with a quieter effectiveness that comes from timing, restraint, and clarity. In everyday life, Wu Wei can look like choosing the simplest workable step, removing what is excessive, and letting outcomes unfold without constant interference. This topic challenges modern habits of control, optimization, and constant self-assertion. It suggests that many problems grow worse when handled with anxiety or pride, while patience and minimalism can produce better results. Wu Wei also implies emotional skill, the ability to stay steady amid provocation, to avoid escalating conflict, and to respond rather than react. As a leadership principle, it favors structures that enable people to succeed without heavy-handed management. As a personal practice, it encourages noticing when effort becomes counterproductive and learning to shift from pushing to guiding. The Tao Te Ching uses this idea to redefine strength as adaptive, calm, and quietly persistent. Thirdly, simplicity, desire, and returning to the uncarved block. The Tao Te Ching frequently returns to the value of simplicity, presenting it as a pathway to clarity and contentment. It critiques the way excessive desire, competition, and status-seeking can fragment attention and create inner unrest. A well-known Taoist image associated with the text is the uncarved block, a symbol of original integrity before life is overcomplicated by constant shaping and performance. This topic is not an anti-culture stance. It is a reminder that refinement can come at the cost of authenticity and peace. The book prompts readers to examine which desires are natural needs and which are socially amplified cravings that never truly satisfy. Simplicity here includes simplifying speech, simplifying plans, and simplifying identity, reducing the impulse to curate oneself for approval. Practically, this can mean fewer commitments, fewer possessions that demand upkeep, and fewer self-imposed narratives that create pressure. The goal is not deprivation, but freedom. When desire loosens its grip, one gains room for gratitude, attention, and ethical restraint. In a consumer-driven environment, this topic feels especially relevant because it offers a different metric for a good life, grounded in sufficiency, steadiness, and a return to what is essential. Fourthly, softness, humility, and the paradox of strength. A distinctive teaching in the Tao Te Ching is that softness can be stronger than hardness. Through paradox, the text highlights how rigid force often breaks, while what is flexible survives and adapts. Humility plays a similar role. By not demanding the highest position, one avoids unnecessary conflict and becomes more capable of learning. This topic reframes power as something that is safest and most effective when it is quiet, responsive, and non-coercive. The book frequently implies that domination creates resistance, while gentle influence builds trust and durability. For personal character, this means cultivating patience, listening, and the willingness to yield when yielding is wise. It also means recognizing that pride can make a person brittle, prone to overreaction, and blinded to feedback. In relationships, the Taoist approach emphasizes de-escalation, the willingness to let go of winning, and the capacity to preserve connection without surrendering integrity. In professional contexts, it suggests that sustainable authority comes from credibility and service, not intimidation. The paradox of strength and softness is not sentimental, it is strategic and psychological. By staying flexible, one remains able to change course, absorb shocks, and respond intelligently, which in the long run can outperform brute persistence. Lastly, governance, leadership, and living with minimal interference. The Tao Te Ching is often read as a political and leadership text as well as a spiritual one. It presents an ideal of governance that is light, humble, and oriented toward the well-being of the people rather than the glory of the ruler. The best leadership, in this view, is almost invisible. It creates conditions where communities can flourish with minimal coercion and minimal disruption. This topic also applies to modern organizational life, parenting, and self-management. The text challenges leaders to reduce unnecessary rules, to avoid micromanagement, and to prioritize long-term stability over short-term displays of power. A recurring implication is that heavy-handed control can create the very disorder it seeks to prevent, because it provokes fear, resentment, and opportunism. By contrast, restraint, fairness, and consistency encourage trust and self-regulation. The Taoist leader focuses on removing obstacles, encouraging simplicity, and preventing extremes that destabilize a system. On a personal level, this teaching becomes a form of inner governance, managing one's impulses without harsh self-judgment, keeping routines workable, and letting life breathe. The book's leadership approach stands out for treating humility and moderation as practical tools, not merely moral ideals. In conclusion, this book suits readers who want a reflective guide to living with more calm, balance, and self-possession, including those interested in Taoism, philosophy, meditation, leadership, or personal growth. It can benefit a reader's life by shifting the focus from constant striving to wise alignment, noticing what is essential, acting with better timing, and reducing the internal noise created by excess desire and rigid control. Many people find it useful precisely because it offers principles rather than rigid rules, making it adaptable to work, relationships, stress management, and ethical decision-making. Compared with many modern self-help titles that rely on step-by-step systems or motivational pressure, the Tao Te Ching stands out for its brevity, depth, and repeatability. It is a book you can return to at different stages of life and still find new meaning, because its insights work through contemplation rather than persuasion. It is worth buying if you want a compact classic that can function as a daily companion, offering enduring perspectives on resilience, humility, and effective action without force. Its long history and wide influence also make it a cornerstone text for understanding East Asian thought and its approach to harmony and leadership. If you would like to support Lao Tzu, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.